Welcome back to The Secret Sauce with Shawn, the show where we delve into the mind of a professional to get a masterclass in what they do. I'm your host, Shawn McCombs, and today we've got another special guest ready to share their story. Please remember to always like, share, and subscribe. And without further ado, we're going to get into the who are you and what do you do. I'm Shawn McCombs, and I'm the host of the Secret Sauce with Shawn podcast, baby. Welcome to the show, Shawn. It's good to have you, man. Great to be here, Shawn. So, what made you want to actually do a podcast? Yeah, that's a great question, Shawn. So, I started the podcast because I think a lot of people got told the same story that I kind of got told growing up, which was go to school to get good grades so you can get into a good college. You can go to college so you can get good grades. So you can get a good job, use that job to pay off your college debt, meet the love of your life, get married, have kids, buy a house, and then once your kids are out of the house, you can travel the world in retirement with the love of your life. And that's the path that a lot of people were set on. And so I created the podcast because I wanted to introduce my audience to the other options out there and some of the other pathways that people have taken. The other reason I created the podcast was because I find a lot of value in hearing people's story. And I think that a lot of people share that sentiment with me. I think there's a lot that we can learn from each other. Every person is a book of knowledge I haven't read yet. So in that, I think there's a lot of people in the audience that really want to hear the story of how other professionals have done what they've done and learn about how they could possibly do it themselves in the future, or just, kind of hold on to those golden nuggets that those people acquired along the way that we're lucky enough to hear when they share with us. So that's the reason why I created the podcast. I see. I get where you're coming from. So what can people expect from each episode? Yeah, that's another great question, Shawn. So every episode, people can expect that there's going to be a different guest who's a professional at what they do. And basically, they're going to sit across from me. I'm going to run through a series of questions with them, just like I am with you right now. And we're going to kind of figure out, who are you? What have you done? How did you get there? What would you have done differently? And we're just going to try to learn from that person and their experience. I get where you're coming from. How often do you think episodes are going to be coming out? So for now, I am everything on this podcast. I'm the host, as you know. I'm the editor. I'm the networking guy. I'm the social media expert. I'm the lighting guy. I'm the sound guy. So I don't really have the ability to produce an episode more than once every 2 weeks, but I'm going to be aiming to release an episode the second and fourth Friday of every month. And obviously there's going to be shorts and other stuff in between, but full episodes will release every 2 weeks. So do you have other types of content planned, or are you just going to stick with the Secret Sauce with Shawn? I definitely have other stuff planned in the future. I do want to create a series where I just kind of talk about the lessons that I've learned and the things that have worked for me. And then I also am going to be developing another, like a tack on to the Secret Sauce with Shawn, which is going to be called Returning Rambles. And those will be basically just me having some of the really popular guests back to answer some of the questions that the audience asks, or maybe things that we didn't get to address in the first episode that after some thought, we really feel like, hey, I think people would find this valuable. So you can definitely be looking forward to that stuff coming. Wow, that's pretty exciting, Shawn. I'm pretty revved up for that. So what do you want most from the audience watching today? I think from the audience, what I want the most is just honest feedback. We're going to be growing this channel and we're going to be learning and moving and shaking along the way. I know that I don't know everything, and I'm going to be learning a ton of lessons about a ton of different things between editing and networking and just everything that goes into the podcast. So honest feedback from the audience would be great. Anything that you think could develop the podcast and really just improve me or how I do things or improve the podcast would be really great. And then, of course, if you get value out of the show, tell someone about it. Like, tell your mom, tell your neighbor, tell whoever, because ultimately that's how grassroots starts, like, really pick up momentum, you know? Man, that's great. That's gold, Shawn. That's so good. So, where can people find you and how do they find out about future episodes? So many good questions, Shawn. Yeah, all of my links will be linked in the description below, and whenever I have a guest, their links and where to find them will also be linked in the description below. Thanks for being here, Shawn. It was great having you today. Anytime, Shawn. Look forward to being here next time. Thanks for watching today's episode of The Secret Sauce with Shawn. If you like today's episode, holler at a homie and head over to my channel for episodes just like this one. If you have any questions, comments, or hate, drop them in the section below and hit me up for your shot in the hot seat.